listening to the Real Estate Financial Coach podcast, financial planning topics for real estate investors. This is the Real Estate Financial Coach podcast, and I'm Cynthia Meyer with Real Estate Financial Coach. Today, I'm here with Lewis Christman from Christman Financial Advisors. He was one of the original participants in the very first Real Estate Financial Coach course and a longtime financial planner helping real estate investors in his state of Pennsylvania and around the country. So welcome, Lou. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
What to know about you?
My name is Lewis Christman. I own Christman Financial Advisors. I'm located in Macungie, Pennsylvania. I've been in this business since 2009 as a financial advisor and have been a landlord for 8 years now, end of 2016, 5-unit multifamily. I help people who want to be educated in the real estate space, putting in that financial foundation, help them grow, help them evaluate properties, look at properties, and really show them the potential that they can create by going down that real estate path, in addition to the standard financial planning investments area. I started 0 clients, interviewed with several companies, didn't really like the very sales-oriented process, and figured I'm going to jump into the deep end and do it the way I feel is fair.
So it sounds like you were a relatively early adopter of the fee-only model. Is that fair to say?
100%.
100%. And so what led you to start your own advisory firm?
Had a daughter, knew I needed insurance, but honestly didn't have a whole lot of faith to get the right insurance product for her. I've always done investments, and as you just transition through life, getting married, changing everything, getting a will, changing everything for beneficiaries, buying a house, seeing how that impacts it. And then the daughter was really, okay, I still need retirement, but now I need college, and now I definitely need to update the will, and I need life insurance. So that was a bigger transition. So I educated myself through courses, really enjoyed the planning aspect and solving those types of problems for people. So decided to, like I said, jump into the deep end. That's how I got into the industry.
Oh, that is a great story. How about in real estate? Now, you own a small apartment complex, right? If I remember this correctly, or a small multifamily. Yeah.
1 building, 5 units.
Which technically, for those of you who are listening, that qualifies as an apartment for mortgage purposes, right? Because it has more than 4 doors. Tell us the story of that property.
I actually had a friend who called me up out of the blue and was like, "Did you ever get into real estate?" I said, and I was like, "No, I haven't. I really don't know what I'm looking at when I look at any real estate online. I don't know if this looks good and is still good, or this is just really junk." And I was like, "Next time you're looking at a property, let me tag along and just see what you do," quite honestly. I'm looking at a property next week. Went down there, looked at it. I ran my numbers because I was interested, and I created my spreadsheet version 1. And I ran the numbers for him. I said, "Dude, this mathematically is really good property." He had just been laid off from his work, and his wife did not want him to buy another property. So I said, I'll do 5149. If you want, I can get my feet wet. You can get it. You're not locked in 100%, but if that's not cool, I'm going to offer. If you're going to step away, I'm going to offer, because it wasn't my place to overstep him. He stepped away. I actually went to the seller, and I was able to negotiate owner financing.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
And a little bit of a discount, showed him the interest he was going to collect by doing owner financing and spreading out his capital gains over that time period, and secured it. I'm starting year 8 now.
Wow, that's a great story. The owner of a small apartment house, right? How does this influence your work with clients? Because I know, for example, I've seen some of your spreadsheets, right? And so you're very meticulous about running numbers.
Yes, I love my Excel. Yep. But I sit there and I walk them through the information they need to get. Like, what do you know? Yeah, there's the mortgage, but you still got to pay taxes and insurance. And are you going to have a water bill? Are you paying for the oil? Are you paying all the heat? What are all your expenses? And then I'm a conservative investor in the fact that I do want cash flow. So I sit there and say, look, I'm putting in a vacancy allowance. I'm putting money aside to there. I'm putting money aside for when, in my case, one of the 4 boilers goes. One of my boilers went month 2 of owning it.
That is a uniquely Northeastern problem, right? Maybe not uniquely, but it's certainly more common in the Northeast and the Great Lakes states. Yeah.
I do that conservative. I build in it while I mow the lawn and I go down for the rent check and stuff like that. I'm certainly not hands-on repairs, but I build in a property management fee for the day I want to hand that off to somebody. After that, I want to put money in my pocket. So I show them that. I show them through Excel. I can show them like, this is the minimum amount of money you need coming in just to break flat out even. You need to cover this number. If it's a lot higher, great, but where are those rents compared to today's numbers? Do you need top of the line rent to support this property, and what if rent drops? So I give them the whole dirty deed, the whole data, pros and cons. I'm not recommending a property, so I'm just running numbers for them. So they need to come in at you make your money at the price when you buy it is when you make your money, in my opinion.
Yeah, underwriting the deal for sure. Underwriting the deal and making sure that it's going to cash flow from the beginning is important. And I think you and I, tell me if I'm right about this, if it's not, in my opinion, if it's not going to be profitable from day one, even if it's just a small $100 a door, like it's probably not worth doing, in my opinion. I'm definitely a cash flow focused investor. How about you?
I'm 100% cash flow. I want that income coming in. It doesn't have to be huge, but I don't see, they always say tenants, you got to deal with tenants, toilets, and termites. I need to earn money if I get to deal with that.
So what do you think the most fun thing about working with real estate investors is?
I think when they get it. And I think that applies to pretty much, in my world, anytime somebody gets a financial concept. When they start grooving on these things, really when you educate somebody in that world, they absolutely can take it and run with it. Like, I'm certainly here as a backup if they want me to run numbers, but they know how to do it. They know what they're looking for. They're familiar with the area that they're trying to buy properties in. Like they know a good deal. They start to learn what a good deal is right away, or a lot quicker than it looks good on paper. It's cheap, but they don't grasp everything else. So that's what I like when the light bulb goes off and they recognize.
So a little bit more about the types of people that you work with at Christman Financial. What's a typical situation?
A typical situation is probably somebody in there, and I got some on each end of the spectrum, but probably mid 40s, low 40s, either had one or will have a child. That's my probably later 30s clients having the kids. So yeah, they've got a lot of things pulling at their income where, sitting down with somebody, and I had a client that said, look, I feel, going through everything, they feel poor. I was like, yeah, that's going to happen when you're doing it because you're going to have a secure retirement. You're going to pay for 3 kids, full college educations, the private school. Yeah, it's a lot when you have everything pulling at you. So, yeah.
It's multiple competing priorities.
Oh, yeah, definitely competing priorities. Then add in the fact that and I love the people that are just starting out where they want to buy a home, and I throw it out there just for consideration. If they they want to get into real estate, to look at that 2-unit house hack.
The house hack.
In that regards. But you have the person who already has the home, the kids, and now they're trying to get into real estate as well. Becomes another financial conversation that gets deep.
Yeah. So it sounds like you work with folks in the millennial, younger Gen X phase of life, right? Where they do have multiple goals to juggle all the time. Do you find that those folks tend to be more oriented towards investment real estate than, say, the baby boomer generation?
I don't think I have any baby boom generation that actually have real estate. So they're definitely more focused on the real estate, and that's where some of the education, some of them are interested in it, but whether they are capable or do ultimately take action on that property is subjective. but there's definitely people that see that as the opportunity to build long-term wealth, and they're taking advantage of it.
Do you think that there's anything it's that types of clients that you work with who do successfully build a small portfolio of rental properties or other kinds of investment real estate? Is there anything that they have in common, in your opinion?
They tend to be a little more conservative, not really keeping up with the Joneses as far as some of the things that they buy and stuff like that. I think they see, hey, if I acquire these properties, I can generate enough income to then go get that dream house
Mhm.
type of aspect. They're more, or maybe less emotional as far as their decisions. They're more analytical as far as their decisions is probably the biggest thing that I see as a commonality between those people building the real estate in that direction. They're more focused in that regards.
Do you think that other financial planners in our field should know about real estate investors and working with real estate investors?
I definitely think they should know real estate. They should know the details. They should probably take the course, understand all the nuances, because there's a whole lot of planning opportunities, and building wealth is not just strictly the stock market, assets under management, and how some people structure their business. They need to be open to other aspects. Some people hate annuities. Think it's a screwdriver. When you need a screwdriver, that's exactly what you want to go buy. No, I don't like it when it's sold as a hammer. So there's the right time, the right place, the right product, and when it fits. And that's what you want. People should educate themselves as far as the flexibility, the opportunities within real estate. Absolutely.
So you were one of the very first participants in the real estate financial coach course. You were in the beta when we were first testing and working through the curriculum. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the course, what your takeaways were, and your observations.
I thought the course was excellent. There's information that I don't know, and I refer back to it when I want to refresh. I'm always going back to some of the tax 1031s. I just don't tend to deal with a lot of them at any given time. So I always need the refresher. So it's quality material and deep to get into the weeds about certain situations. So it's a great resource.
You've been a wonderful mentor in the group for other newer planners who are coming into the business. And so you've been great about sharing the knowledge and the experience that you have. Do you think that there is a potential to form some community around this smaller group of real estate investor planners that we've created?
I think there's a huge opportunity for people to come together. There is such a wealth of knowledge in people that just the ability to bounce things off, that rare case that you come across might be somebody's right up their alley. They do it all the time. And what an opportunity to connect in those regards and share information. Maybe I'm looking at something different, that somebody opens my eyes.
Yeah. I find that that has been one of the most wonderful things about creating it and launching the course in the community is that we're all learning from each other. Like the way that I do things in my work and the way that you do things in your work, or some of the other teachers or members do things in their work. And we're really trying to create a new field.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
You have any guidance for somebody who is new in the financial planning field and is trying to figure out the types of folks they want to work with?
That is a challenging question to me, because I really try to help everybody. I definitely bring up real estate and show them the potential in that regards. But I do actually consider myself more of a general practitioner, in the fact that I will market to particular groups of people, but I'm here to help anyone. It doesn't matter whether you're here or there, rich, poor. If you want to get ahead, I'm going to try to help you, whether that's pro bono or official service in that regards. So while you can market to specific groups of people and focus on problems and solutions, I tend to consider myself a general practitioner in that regards.
So where can we find you online?
Online, I do have LinkedIn, so that's probably primary. I do have a Facebook page. Other than that, I am a little old school in the fact that I don't do a whole lot of social media, and I guess maybe I'm too busy working.
And what's your website?
The website is ChrismanFinancial.com. I actually have a fee calculator on there. I don't collect any information from you. If you want to see where you would be from a wealth management service perspective, you plug in your net worth, you will see where you shake out.
So do you have a net worth fee model?
Net worth fee model, and then I do project work / hourly. And then a new service that has come out that I'm implementing is what I call financial fundamentals. It's scaled down more for the people growing, establishing themselves, getting their financial fundamentals, financial house in order, not so much the retirement people where we're digging into details there or retirement projections, but the younger, hey, here's a nice blend of I'm going to be touch base on a quarterly basis. I can schedule meetings with him if I want. He'll manage investments, and I'm paying this set fee versus AUM. It's just a set flat fee.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that you are trying to be a financial mentor to people that are just starting, that are just in their early career phase, that are just building their strong financial foundations for themselves. I think a lot of planners don't focus on this area. And of course, it's part of our financial planner network, the XY Planning Network. We all agree that we will help folks who are in the launching stage, but I love that you're focusing on it. And I love that you have a fee model that's super transparent and allows you to get paid for the time that you spend working on the real estate with your clients and not just securities focused areas.
Yes. And that's why I'm like setting up myself this way.
So just to finish up here, what are you curious about right now? What are you focused on learning and spending some time improving your knowledge on?
Where am I not looking to improve my knowledge? I go back to the real estate course often because it is just a lot of information. So I go back there. I don't sell any product. So if I can pick up tips and information on annuities and stuff like that, because I will run across clients in that regard. So trying to deepen that knowledge as much as I don't sell the product. But I'm always looking for that. What can I learn? Even a process improvement that I can help pass that on to my clients.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for this conversation today. We'll put in the show notes where you can find Lou on his website and online, and we'll see you next time in the Real Estate Financial Coach Podcast.
Thank you very much.